Hello all, welcome to our channel Water Diary. In the month of August 2021, my Home Minister and I, we both went our dream ride to Ladakh bike trip on Xpulse 200. After completing our dream ride safely and successfully with a lot of memories, I recently posted a video on Xpulse review after Ladakh bike trip, but I did it in Tamil. So in that video comment section, few of our viewers asked me an English version of it. That's why I am making this video. If you are comfortable in Tamil, please do check that video in Tamil. I add that link in the description below. When I decided to buy a new bike for Leh Ladakh bike trip, I chose few bike, even did a couple of test drive as well. Finally, decided to go for Xpulse because it met most of our requirement. And then further, did more analysis about pros and cons of the Xpulse. Even I list down remedy for those drawbacks as well. Finally, we brought Xpulse, did modification and started our dream ride from Tamil Nadu to Delhi and then Leh via Srinagar and explored all the inner region of Leh Ladakh and then come back to Delhi via Manali. Finally reached Hyderabad. In this circuit, I personally rode Xpulse every inch of 7,500 kilometers. In this trip, we explored different kind of terrains with the Xpulse like hill area, off-road, highway, traffic, water crossing, even low oxygen hill area as well. With this experience, now I am going to share about my opinion about Xpulse. What are the advantages, what kind of the problem we faced because of the Xpulse and how we are overcome. So these are the things now I am going to share with you. So this video is all about Xpulse review after Leh Ladakh trip. Xpulse is one of the premium bike in Hero brand with a 200cc engine which produces a 17.8 bhp at 8500 rpm and the maximum torque of 16.45 Newton meter at 6500 rpm, and this is the only dual purpose AVD in that brand in India. Let me start with the advantages. First point is 200cc engine. Both riders and our luggage comes around 200 kgs. By carrying this much load, Xpulse smoothly cruising around 95 kilometers on highway. However, I pushed that machine to its extreme. Actually, I have seen 115 on my Odo. I did intensely, but only once. After that, we cruise around 90 kilometers. I could say between 80 to 95 is the sweet spot for Xpulse. The second advantage is high torque at lower gears. Xpulse produces a good amount of torque while climbing the hill. Even though we started as a solo couple in a single bike, just before Srinagar we met three friends. One from Kerala in Dominar 400 and the other two guys from Tamil Nadu in Java 350. After that we all traveled together, but it's not fair to compare with those bikes which had double the power of Xpulse. However, comparatively I am happy with the Xpulse performance. Why? Because in the hill area, Dominar 400 climbs the hill by carrying a one rider at the speed of 40 to 45 km. But Xpulse with the 200cc engine, by carrying a two rider, it climbs the hill around 25 to 30 km speed. Third advantage is long traveling suspension and high ground clearance. Even though Xpulse bit lag while climbing the hill, but when it comes to the off-road, it shows real wildness and perform very well. We nothing to worry about the off-road or potholes in the roads, even in the speed break. The Xpulse perform very well. I could remember we met one of the largest water crossing in that trip between Tanglang La Pass and Jispa. Actually, it took more than 2 hours to cross that water and resume that ride. The vehicle which has low ground clearance like Java, Dominar, Enfield 350, even SWAT pillion also stuck in it. It took lot of time and effort to cross it. But our Xpulse crossed it with a minimum effort in less time when compared with the other vehicle. Here I am not saying that other vehicles are bad. I am just referring that ground clearance, how they play an important role when it comes to off-road. Meanwhile, couple of Royal Enfield Himalayans also crossing that. Since they also have a good amount of ground clearance, they crossed with the minimum effort. Definitely I will say Xpulse did a very good job and performed very well when it comes to off-road. Let's move on to the last point of advantage, last but not the least. I could say this is the most important reason for Xpulse success in India. It's nothing but price. Hero MotoCorp rightly priced and kept Xpulse on right pricing point. If I am not wrong, in India we don't have any other 200cc bike lower than Xpulse. When we brought Xpulse in the same category next AVD is Himalayan, it priced almost 180% of Xpulse. And needless to say about maintenance of Royal Enfield, how they are charged. And one more thing, when it comes to long drive, fuel is one of the major portion in trip budget. So in long run, the maintenance and the fuel economy also very much important. That's why we brought Xpulse. Even though I am keep on telling only advantages, this bike have a few disadvantages as well. Let me list down the drawbacks as per my opinion. The first point is comfortness. Yes, you may wonder after driving this long distance why this guy complaining about the comfortness. Let me tell you, the day one we brought Xpulse, in the first 50 km itself, I felt that the stock seat is not comfortable for the long drive. So we did a few modification over the stock seat and add 1 inches of foam over the stock seat, and it improved a lot in the comfortness. The second point in my drawback list is a headlamp. The headlamp throw is not enough sufficient to drive the vehicle during a night time, especially when a bigger vehicle like truck, bus, car, if it is come opposite to us, it makes more difficult to drive further. But if you have a good pair of fog light, probably we can overcome this issue, and this is the one which is installed in local market but not enough sufficient for our ride. So after completing a ride, recently 2 weeks back we installed another fog light. This fog light we brought in online around 800 rupees. Let's move on to third point in my drawback list. I have a couple of issues in the instrument cluster. The first issue is gear position indicator. When we hold the clutch to shift the gear, at that time the gear position indicator goes off and it doesn't serve its purpose. And the second issue in the instrumental cluster, trip meter. Xpulse have a 2 trip meter, trip 1 and 2, but both the trip meter counts up to 1000 km only. To be precise, it count only 999 and then it start from the 0. If your trip is not more than 1000 km, you can use that. But if you go for a long drive and which has more than 1000 km, probably you are not supposed to use the trip meter to count your trip. Anyhow, this instrument cluster issue not making a big problem during our trip. However, from Hero side, if they are fixing these two issues, it could help the rider to use these features as well. The fourth drawback is missing a center stand, but Hero intentionally not providing the center stand. Anyhow, if you need to do any maintenance work, it will definitely need it. Even though if you are going for any long drive, you need to load and unload your luggages. At that time, center stand will help you a lot. But anyhow, this is not a bigger issue. If you are required, even we can install a center stand after market as well. The next point is when we stuck in between slow moving traffic, in second gear engine goes off at low acceleration. It may not be a issue, it might be a rider problem. If you are faced with this kind of issue, please do let me know. And one more gear shifting issue I am facing very rarely. When I shift 4th to 5th gear, in a couple of seconds, again it come back to 4th gear. It's not properly placed at 5th gear and again we have to shift it. So this double shifting sometimes happened, but it happens very rarely. So do let me know in the comment section if you ever faced this gear shifting issue. The last point in the list, recently I am getting some different kind of sound from the engine area. Probably you can hear that. This is the sound which started after a trip only, after 9000 kilometers. It seems the sound is coming from the catalytic converter. When I asked about this sound in the technician, they told that it is not any problem. So if you ever face this problem, and if you are fixed it, please do let me know. So next time I will ask my technicians as well. So these are the pros and cons of the Xpulse based on my experience after completing Ladakh trip. Till now I am completed 12,000 kilometers and I didn't face any serious problem as of now. Finally, you may ask, can we do a Ladakh bike trip on Xpulse? Let me tell you one thing, Ladakh bike trip is completely possible. The condition of your bike is more important than power of your bike, and moreover depends on rider as well, how you are prepare yourself physically and mentally. Even we have seen many people in Kardungla on splendor, scooter, even on the cycle as well. So probably I will say it is more important how you are prepared and your bike conditions, not the power of your bike. If you have a Xpulse or any other bike, if it is not comfortable for long drive, do a little bit modifications. You can do some modification on seat, add fog light, so that you can improve the comfortness of the bike, and then you can go for the long drive. Even you can take a mini short break on the go if you are not feeling comfortable. So don't worry about the bike power, maintain it and do explore and ride safely. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your support.